Juventus, one of the clubs interested in signing Manchester City's captain, Bernardo Silva, on a free transfer in the summer. Juventus also interested there, guys. Juventus interested in Manchester City's captain, Bernardo Silva. Alex, you've been so quiet on the end there for a City fan. They've normally got a lot to say.
Yes.
He's been playing so well for you, played so well for you last night at St James's Park. Are you resigned to losing him now that he's out of contract?
He's a club veteran. It's been coming. I feel like it definitely has been coming the past couple of seasons, season or two. There's been a lot of rumours. If it's not to PSG, it's not him just leaving Manchester City in general. So I wouldn't say that any City fan out there, if he was to leave, that anyone would be shocked. He's had a good run of it. He's a veteran, a Manchester City veteran, legend in my eyes, to be honest. So I'd be very happy with the way he's leaving. He's leaving on a high. That's if we win the league this season, of course. So yeah, and Juventus are a good club. I'm sure they'll keep him in good hands.
When you say legend, I mean, some City fans would go even stronger than that in terms of statue territory, like he deserves one outside with all the ones that are already there in terms of Kun Aguero and Vinny Company. He's 31. I mean, at the beginning of the season, and you kind of always know who's going to leave Manchester City by whoever gets given the captain's armband.
Yes.
But he's been playing so well. He's probably played more than you thought and started more than you thought.
He's definitely one of Pep's favourite players. He says it. He has a nickname for him, Bernardicchi. You know, not really a lot of our players has a nickname. So I'm very happy. I'm very happy with him. I'm very happy with everything that he's done. And you can tell with Pep that he really cherishes him. He never comes out and really says anything bad about him. You can tell that he puts him on a pedestal and he gives him that responsibility because he expects some maturity from him, of course, and experience that he's shown. So yeah, he's a big part of our team.
Alex, I can see you quietly confident sat there. You've made a huge signing in the window who started pretty well, scoring twice in 2 games in Antoine Semenyo. Do you need anything else in this window?
Yes, we need a centre-back. And it's funny you asked me that, because if you asked me those 2-3 games ago, when Diaz got injured, of course, Vardio got injured, I always said we need it instantly. But the way Kusanov's come in, I'm very happy. He's really put his foot down. He's shown that, hey, guys, listen, I understand we haven't got our quote-unquote main centre-backs, but I'm here to make a difference. I'm here to stay. So now is a thing where I'm watching, especially after yesterday's game, the maturity, especially now we have Max coming in from Watford.
How good's he been
He's been great. He's been really
he's played
good.
in the Prem for 3 seasons,
It's been very interesting with him. It's like the way he's come in instantly, and of course, the last game against Exeter having a goal, I guess that will add and boost him more with the confidence that he plays with. Like I said with Kusanov, the way he's come in, he's waited his turn. He's been very patient. You know, Pep's been very patient with him as well. You can tell he's been in good hands. You can tell he's been learning and been watching, likes of John Stone, Diaz, the elder lot in the team, more experienced. So yeah, like I said, of course, before.
But you say you need a centre-back, and I agree. Like, we're going to talk about Mark Gahey, and you can talk about Mark Gahey.
Yeah.
That, as a long-term restructure defensively, seems to work. When Vardio comes back from his leg fracture, Vardio and Gahey going forward looks fantastic. And you've got Ait Nouri as a left-back, still need to sign a right-back.
Yeah.
But Diaz, Stones, Ake, I know some of these are going to leave in the summer. You say you need a centre-back now. Is there a danger you go and get one now, and then you've got sort of 7 or 8 when they're all fit?
Like you said, it's a long season. We have a lot of games, whether that's Champions League, Premier League, and on top of that, the likes of Stones has been confirmed he's leaving. Nathan Ake is on the edge of leaving. Of course, Akanji's been sent out on loan. So I do think it's time for a rebuild, time to bring in some new names. I don't just want young names. Of course, we have got the likes of Victor Reis still out on loan. And of course, we have Kusanov, who's still young, Max, who's still young. So I do want someone who's a staple, someone who knows the Premier League, someone who knows what's going on, can come and lead these young players as well, of course, blossom.
Dan, Mark Gahey, would he look at City's squad list and back himself to go, OK, it doesn't matter, they've got 6 or 7 that can play there, some of them may leave. That could be me at the Etihad for the next 10 years.
I think if Mark Gahey made the move in January, goes straight in. I think more so for the Champions League. I think Manchester City probably need to strengthen for that competition. I think the Premier League, they can get away with. And what I mean is the level of the Champions League, when they come up against the Barcelonas, the Real Madrids, possibly the Bayerns, they need someone that's established, that's played international football, that's experienced. Mark Gahey can go in and slot in straight away. Max Alane is a fantastic young talent. Kusanov, again, fantastic young talent. They're doing really, really well. But coming up in that Champions League, the latter stages, would I be totally confident with those 2 guys playing in the semi-final of Champions League to go on and win it? Probably not at this stage. But I think they're doing really, really well. Nathan Ake can obviously slot back in. Nouri's come back from the AFCON. So they have got a few options. Premier League, they can do it. Champions League latter stages, Mark Guehi would be a big help.
Well, someone else who's doing very well, ticking along very nicely, Arsenal, top of the Premier League table, top of the Champions League table as well. Are they short in defence? This is the question we're going to ask. Do they need to strengthen? They face Chelsea in the Carabao Cup semi-final tonight, and Ricardo Calafiori, Piero Nkapie James won't be available. Centre-back William Saliba is a doubt as well. Here's a question for you. Arsenal fans watching, they may think this is a silly question, but is there any chance that they get involved in this Guehi conversation in January?
There's a chance, considering that they're interested in Mark Guehi. Mikel Arteta's been quite clear about looking for opportunities in the market. He's always like that. They have a structure, they have a plan. Arsenal don't tend to attack January too often. They look for their business in the summer. They did a lot of business last summer. Unlikely to do anything in January, but if something comes up, like a Mark Guehi situation, where there may be a bit of interest, why wouldn't there be interest? Top of the Premier League, top of the Champions League right now. The question around Arsenal, if you look at the defence, Christian Mosquera's also out as well. Look, they've got plenty of depth in there. We've seen Christian Norgard drop in centre-back. We've seen Declan Rice play right-back. You've got Ben White, Jurien Timber, who can play along that back line too. I don't see it happening, certainly in January. I think we still wait to see what Mark Guehi's thinking. Does he want to stay? Does he want to go?
But the big difference there is all those names you've just mentioned, and we're talking about Manchester City's list. Actually, Guehi would look at Gabriel and Saliba and go, that's one of the best defensive partnerships in recent Premier League history. I've got a much better chance of playing every week at Manchester City.
It depends what his motivation is. Does he want to compete? We've seen, certainly with the injuries that Arsenal suffered this year, that actually all the defenders have been given opportunities to play. You've also got Nkapie and Calafiori, perhaps now first and second choice left backs.
Yeah.
Saliba, Mosquera, the right centre back, Gabriel, and then one other left centre back. And I must add, Arsenal have done a lot of business incomings. They've got to at some point sell. And they may look at one of those defenders as, OK, we can cash in some value. If we could bring a Mark Guehi in, for example, in the summer on a free transfer, that's an unbelievable bit of business.
Just quickly, you turned your nose up when Nick was asking about Ben White to the Hill Dickinson. Why not?
I didn't turn my nose up. I was briefly explaining on the back of what you just said about Arsenal's injury issues that they wouldn't let Ben White go. Ben White won't want to go in this window.
Why not even on a loan deal?
Because
with a
how does that
deal?
first of all, it doesn't benefit Arsenal, who need the depth defensively. They're competing on four fronts at the moment. For Ben White, yes, he hasn't played much. I think it's only 5 Premier League appearances this season. But he's also part of a team now that, again, is competing to win the Premier League, competing to potentially win the Champions League as well. I think in the summer, the Ben White conversation might ramp up, because I think in the summer, that might be the time to have that conversation. But this is a player who's been at Arsenal for quite a while as well. So won't happen now in January, but let's revisit in the summer.
Sorry, Nick.
Is what it is. Yeah, another one bites the dust.
Another one bites the dust. Well, hopefully we'll have some positive news for the Everton fans in the weeks that are remaining in this January transfer window. Next, though, on Good Morning Transfers, we are talking all things Chelsea and Everton. Don't go anywhere. Come on, Nick.